I'm mad. I'm really mad. Mad as hell. And I'm not going to take this crap anymore for some goddamn clerks who didn't serve their country. The Supreme Court in the United States, it was the Supreme Court, the supreme injustice at the United States Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. Who really controls the courts? Who really does the judging? It's not whom you think it is. This video is about how the clerks at the United States Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. control what the judges see. These clerks control the court. There's no due process for Army veterans, no rule of law, no constitutional rights whatsoever. They don't even play by their own rule book, the rule book for the United States Supreme Court. Rule 40, Rule 33.2 for Seamen. Would you be upset to realize that our U.S. Constitution is being governed not by the justices of the court, but by the clerks at the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. My true story. This is my true story. My name is Thomas Crean, and I'm a 78-year-old Army veteran who served in Korea. I'm also a merchant seaman and sailed the globe, and I know nonsense when I see nonsense, and this is what it is. No rule, two different set of rules. One for veterans and one for the one with the dough, who can play the little game, or don't serve, don't lose no arms, legs, limbs, anything. And I'm mad. It's all going to come out here now. My wife and I have been fighting for 5 years. 5 years in the New York City courts. And where do we go? We got past the gate. We got up to the Supreme Court of the United States in Washington, D.C. We got through the gate. The Supreme Court has sole jurisdiction of this case. This case. The attorney for the defendants relinquished. He relinquished. That means he threw in the towel. He gave up. He relinquished the rights of his clients to respond, answer our writs of certiorari. We were shocked. We were shocked to realize that the defendant corporation threw in the towel. This was when the clerks, the good old clerks, took up the defendant corporation's mantle and obstructed justice with intent, bona fide intent. From here on, they told us to file informa pauperis, which means you don't have money for an attorney to help us. We have to file informa pauperis. They told us we would get a lawyer, but they never got one. They told us this. We filed in pauperis, but at the same time, simultaneously, we filed our papers, our necessary papers, filled out all the documents to the court, what was necessary, of being a veteran and a merchant seaman, and hope for the best. And we still paid the court fees that were required, $300 court fees that they sent back to us. They didn't log it. They returned it to us with this business of denying us to proceed. They gave these papers to Judge Ginsburg. Justice Ginsburg received these cakes in what you call a piecemeal fashion, piece at a time. Our informers, pauperis papers were handed to her piece by piece. She didn't know what was coming and going. They hid they pigeonholed our veteran and seaman status, all our veteran information documents. Their own rule book shows Rule 40 for veterans and 33.2 for seamen. They considered the case closed. What the hell do you mean you considered the case closed? There was no due process. There was no constitutional rights, no rule of law. Despite our 10 volumes of evidence, they want to bury, they want to hide, they want to conceal. Ironclad 10 volumes, 1,000 pages of hardcore evidence. They want to dismiss like this was a handkerchief, a sneeze in the wind. It's not going to go. I want you to call your congressman, call the Supreme Court, and I'll give you the number shortly, to tell them if they do this to me, they will do this to you. They could get through with anybody, any branch. With all that's going on with this today, with all the investigations, we wanted an investigation. They told me, they said, you're not pauperous, and we consider the case closed. They dismissed it. They consider the case closed. What the hell kind of nonsense is this? They consider the case closed. Consider the case closed. This is an outrage, an American outrage. El Chapo, Mr. Drug Kingpin Pusher. The El Chapo got more due process than the United States veterans. This is an outrage. I got the number on here that you could call and just raise your approach to reopen this goddamn case and get them guys to say, what the hell do the court clerks get? We consider 1,000 pages. The other guy didn't contest it. He gave up. He used these shenanigans going on there. What did he do? 1,000 pages of hardcore evidence, federal, state, city, the CDC, all the housing, 1,000, plus the Lord Commissioner, a whole bunch of stuff going on here. They dismiss. Who the hell they think they are? We want you to call the Washington, call the U.S. Supreme Court, and tell them that you want this case reopened. You cut all this malarkey, all the shenanigans going on in there. Who the hell do they think they are? Our veterans giving their lives, giving their legs, their arms, committing suicide after all these things going on over there. They got to be subject to. And you trying to patsy case me? Push me aside like I'm came under the wire, over the fence? I was born here and I went over for this country. And I did my job, my duty. And I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it no more. You're not going to sit back on your cushions, a cushy job, and go on to some damn law firm and live happily ever after. Well, you're not going to get away with this one. I want every goddamn soldier and veteran get out there and don't let this happen. Not because they are guilty. I am injured. I was confirmed injuries from the United States from the Veterans Administration. I got internal injuries, and my wife is twice as worse than me. She needs an operation because of what they were exposed to. And there's separate case, verifiable. And they want to push this under the carpet? It's not going to happen, buddy, because I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. What do I do?